the score doesn't represent our play in that game. We could have played much better. We should have left that thing with a 40 burger at least. At least. Ladies and gentlemen, overall, I got to give the Dallas Cowboys a B- for this performance. Yeah, we got the dub. 33-10, we got the dub. For a while, the Panthers were still in position to tie the game if they could have scored. That game was way too close for comfort, Cowboys Nation. It was way too close for comfort for way too long. It wasn't until the fourth where we scored 16 points, putting the game out of reach. That's kind of unacceptable to a 1-8 team. So I can't give them anything above a B-.
Man, it was a 6, man. In the fourth quarter, it was a one-score game. They cut that thing to 17-10. He started slightly biting on the nails, but he really wasn't worried about it. Put it this way, the score does not indicate how tough that game was for y'all. But 3 quarters, they had y'all on the sideline thinking.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboy fans around the world? It's your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, here on YouTube, the place where you can catch my raw and uncut emotion about the Dallas Cowboys 24/7, 365. And as long as I'm alive, y'all know I'm DC for life, baby. And if you're DC for life, won't you join the hundreds of Angry Cowboys fans here on YouTube as we discuss the Dallas Cowboys through the 2023 season and beyond? But ladies and gentlemen, I was watching the segment between Keyshawn Johnson, the playmaker Michael Irvin, and Skip Bayless on Undisputed this morning. The segment opened up with the question addressed to Keyshawn, how he thought the Dallas Cowboys did against the Carolina Panthers. The clips are pretty long, so I chopped them up into 2 different clips. I'm going to give you my raw and uncut on each one of the clips, and I also have a clip of Dak Prescott's post-game press conference. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first clip, and we're going to come back and unpack that raw and uncut. So everybody go ahead, take a listen.
Man, it was a 6, man. Maybe a 5. And the only reason why I say that is because, Skip, let's be honest with each other. It's the Carolina Panthers. We can just start there.
Right?
Okay? Michael Irvin watched the game with me yesterday. And Michael, you know, I know when people feel a certain way, he wasn't necessarily worried about them because when you look at the roster of the Carolina Panthers, there was nothing there on that. There's nothing on that roster that says, well, we're in trouble. And when you start at the quarterback position, let alone with Bryce Young, who was a phenomenal young man. Yeah. Okay, but when you look at that, we're not in. We're gonna be okay. Even though, to me, you look at this and you want it to be a 10, Skip, so badly because how late in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden the thing changed. In the fourth quarter, it was a one-score game.
Right.
Okay, they didn't gash y'all in the running game nearly the way I would have liked them to, but they had some chunks between Hubbard and Saunders. They had some chunks. That they could have, because they only carried the ball 21 times.
Skip, they got 110?
100 and something, 100 yards. But if you push that thing to 30 to 35 attempts, now maybe you do something different and you allow yourself to help a young quarterback out. They didn't give themselves a chance.
All right. Did all that sound familiar, Cowboys Nation? For those who didn't tune into my live last night, I highly recommend that you go check it out because he is parroting everything I said about the game yesterday against the Carolina Panthers. He gave it a 6, almost average, almost even. I gave it a B-, almost average, almost even. I have to agree with Keyshawn Johnson on this one, Cowboys Nation. I know that may come as a shock, but who did we play? How were we at executing? Other than Deron Bland's interception, what stood out to you about this game? Where was the offensive explosion we know that the Dallas Cowboys are accustomed to? I said it last night. The game was too close for comfort until the fourth quarter explosion. Only one score separated the Dallas Cowboys from being tied with the 1-8 Carolina Panthers. I caught myself saying things like, come on, Cowboys, or don't make this the trap game that they're talking about, Cowboys, or just get the job done. I shouldn't have to think those things during that game. We should have handled that game easily. Picture it this way, Cowboy Nation. Hadn't grown man Bland got another pick six, we're looking at a 26-10 game, Angry Cowboys fans. A 16-point win against a 1-8 team. A team that gashed us with the run. I just don't get it. What is going on with us and stopping the run? Because if we can't stop the run of the Carolina Panthers, what are we going to do in the later games? I was super critical about the Dallas Cowboys play because I refuse to be a yes man and say that everything that we do is a 10 or A+. I would rather my friends or my loved ones tell me if I need to tighten up in an area of my life than to have them say I'm perfect when I know that I'm not. Dak Prescott even admitted such during his post-game interview with the media. So we're going to take a listen to that and come back and unpack it. So everybody go ahead, let's take a listen to what our QB1 franchise quarterback Dak Prescott has to say.
Coming off the big blowout win last week and knowing you have a game Thursday, it was just the aspect of handling business and taking care of it the way you needed to in this game.
Yeah, I mean, every week is about handling business, coming in, getting the win. Obviously, I understood the challenge in this week. Honestly, not even looking forward to Thanksgiving yet. It was about focusing where we were. If you look on paper, right, a lesser opponent, but we knew we had to come in noon start, something that we don't do too often. So had to get going fast and not take them lightly and keep the focus high. And got the job done. To say it was clean and to say that we did exactly what we wanted to do, I can't say that. Got to go look at the film, but you'll take the win any way we can get it. It was a good win. Got to heighten the focus a little bit. I know on our side of the ball, whether it be a 12 o'clock game, whether it be the lesser opponent, who knows, but. It was communicated. It was communicated throughout the game. Guys answered that challenge and played better and went and got the dub. And when we needed to make plays, they made it a 7-point game. Needed to convert third downs. Needed to score. We went and did that and answered. Defense made it a bigger lead there, and from there we're able to finish it off.
Dak Prescott knew we didn't play to our standards. He said we got the job done. To say that it was clean and to say that we did exactly what we wanted to, can't say that. But got to go back and look at the film. He knew before watching any film that 189 yards passing is not the norm for the Dallas Cowboys. To have a stagnant offense is not what we should be accustomed to, Cowboys Nation. To only have 7 yards on your first possession is not something we can do against a better team. A win is a win is a win, but you can also look at a win as being a bad win. You can look good and win as well. You can also look great and win. Against the 1-8 Carolina Panthers, we should have looked great in that win. I'm going to play my last clip for y'all. Like I said earlier in the video, if you watched my live reaction of the game last night, you would have heard me say, have 7 sacks against Washington. Have 7 sacks against Seattle. I basically told the Angry Cowboys fans in attendance that we need to have that same energy when it comes to the games that we're coming up against when it involves the Commanders as well as the Seahawks. And so on. Keyshawn Johnson is going to say the same thing to Skip Bayless and Michael Irvin. So let's take a listen to the last clip and what he had to say.
Michael's screaming in my ear, oh, that's 1 sack, there's 2 sacks, there's 3.
2.5.
He doing all of those sort of things. I need that same energy though 2 weeks from now. I need that same energy.
Yeah, we need it
because
from you,
again,
too.
I go back to what
need
I
it from
said
you,
before
too.
about you guys. Okay?
Nice, Skip.
You have not beaten anybody yet. Okay, and I understand, Michael, all games in the NFL is tough, and they won one game, man. That's all I kept telling Michael. They won one game. I get it. A win is a win is a win. But in the end, I give you guys a 6, because you won. You took care of business. The fourth quarter, things turned. The score put it this way, the score does not indicate how tough that game was for y'all. It does not. I understand the score is lopsided because of what you did in the fourth quarter, but 3 quarters, they had y'all on the sideline thinking, okay?
Yep.
And I almost called him Dez Bryant, but CeeDee Lamb. They neutralized him early in the game. And then you finally got him on the corner route for the touchdown. Then he had a couple other catches, but he wasn't the same game plan that we've seen over the last several weeks with CeeDee Lamb. So now you're getting ready to go up. There is no Adam Thielens and then no Chenaults that you're going to be playing against. When you get in that 5-game stretch that you're getting ready to hit, you're going to see some real players.
Washington after Washington.
You're going to see some real players. It's one thing to bring that noise to a 1-8 team. We need to go into the Thanksgiving game against the Commanders and break them off a little something. We need to go into the Commanders game sending a warning shot to the rest of the NFC. We need to make an example out of the Washington Commanders, because I honestly thought that this game would be the example setter. But we need to set an example against Washington, because they're going to be looking to bounce back after their loss to the New York Giants. All right, anyway, we got to punch them in the mouth, Cowboy Nation. We got to punch them in the mouth and let them know we ain't having it. We need to make an example out of them, because I thought it would be against the Carolina Panthers, but 189 passing yards is anything but. Now it's time to move on from the Panthers to the Washington Commanders. It's a short week, but it's at home, and we usually ball out of control at Jerry's World. This has been your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan, giving you my raw and uncut emotion about what Keyshawn Johnson and Dak Prescott had to say about the game against the Carolina Panthers yesterday. So what do you guys think about what I had to say? Do you agree or do you disagree? And it's okay to disagree. What are your feelings about the game? Please put them in the comment section below. I love to hear from you, Cowboys Nation, and I will respond to as many comments as I can. If you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? It's free to do. And you help the channel get out to more Dallas Cowboy fans when you subscribe and like the content. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who was at the live last night. You guys and girls rock. And I would like to give a special shout out to Free Your Mind 619 and Vero K for the channel's first super chats. You guys are the MVPs. And when we go live, you guys can also get into the super chats if you want your comments to stand out. Super chats are there, but again, not forcing it on you. All right? But with that being said, this is your boy, the Angry Cowboys Fan. I'm out.